Hello, all. Welcome. We will do 5 questions of project closure in this session. So let's dive straight away. A project has recently been completed, and the support team is responsible for assessing the client's level of satisfaction with the final product delivered. What should the team do first? Explore opportunities with the client for future service or follow on work. Arrange a session with the project team and key stakeholders to capture lessons learned. Review the complete and analyze customer feedback collected during the project closure. Conduct performance review by examining closure records from all project phases. So the answer to this is C. Review the completed deliverables and analyze. Note the question is saying a project has recently been completed and support team is responsible for assessing the client's level of satisfaction with the final product delivered. So how does the support team get the client's level of satisfaction? By analyzing customer feedback collected during project closure, right? And A, explore opportunities with client for future services or follow-on work. This is unnecessary. This is not relevant also. Arrange a session with the project team and key stakeholders to capture lessons learned. So this happens in project closure phase, but the question is asking the client's level of satisfaction. So this is also not correct. Conduct a performance review by examining closure records from all project phases. So this is basically talking about phase gates, right? So this is also not correct. Let's go to the next. During a sprint, a developer implemented a backlog item that stated users must be able to make payments using a credit card. When the feature was demonstrated, the customer rejected it because only domestic credit cards were supported, while international cards were expected as well. What could the project manager have done to prevent this misunderstanding? Ensure the user story included sufficient details and acceptance criteria. Okay. Move the backlog item to a future iteration for further development. Okay. Conduct additional backlog refinement sessions with the development team. Okay. D. Collect comprehensive requirement documentation from all end users before development. So the answer to this is A. Ensure the user story included sufficient details and acceptance criteria. See, if the question is saying, during a sprint, a developer implemented a backlog item that stated users must be able to make payments using credit card, right? It is not having detail. If it had talking about domestic and international payments, then the story would have been correctly. So the answer is A. When the feature was demonstrated, the customer rejected it because only domestic credit cards were supported, while international cards were expected to be supported as well. So clearly, if the user story was in detail, then this problem would not have happened. Let's see the other answers. Move the backlog item to a future iteration for further development. No, we are delaying the development of the story. This is not correct. Conduct an additional backlog refinement session with the development team. So backlog refinement is just beating around the bush. It is not the correct answer because the story should have been developed in detail. Collect comprehensive requirement documentation from all end users before development. This is too generic an answer, and this is also not correct. Third question. A supplier submits a completed deliverable to the project team. During the review, the team finds that several requirements expected by the contract have not been satisfied. Which document should the project manager consult to confirm the deliverable requirement and conditions with the supplier? A. Procurement management plan. B. Request for proposal. C. Statement of work. D. Quality inspection report. So the answer is statement of work. The statement of work defines the work to be performed, to be provided, and the acceptance criteria that the vendor must meet. When there is a dispute regarding whether a deliverable satisfies agreed upon requirements, the SOW is the primary contractual reference. A. Procurement management plan describes how procurements will be managed, not the specific deliverable requirements. RFP, what is RFP? Used during vendor selection and solicitation, but is not the final source of contractual acceptance criteria. And D. Quality inspection report provides inspection results but does not define the agreed requirements. So which document should the project consult to confirm the deliverable requirements and acceptance condition with the supplier? Permit, it is the SOW. Fourth question. While preparing for an upcoming product, the project manager discovers that the quality plan requires system regression testing before every release. However, the testing activities were not included in the project's scope, baseline, or work packages. What should the project manager do first? In the quality plan, the system regression testing was not included, right? However, the testing activities were not included, so system was not included. So what are the various answers? Initiate the formal change control process to incorporate regression testing activities in the project scope. Request additional testing personnel from the quality department to perform the missing work. Recommend eliminating regression testing to reduce project effort and maintain the release schedule. Obtain sponsor approval to revise the quality plan and remove the testing requirements. No, the answer is A. Initiate the formal change control process to incorporate regression testing activities into the project scope. Because the quality management plan is an approved document. If required work, regression testing is missing from the WBS and scope baseline, the project manager should first follow the integrated change control process to formally add the necessary work. B, what is B? Request additional testing personnel and the quality. This may be required as a next step, not initially. Okay. Recommend eliminating regression testing to reduce project effort and maintain the release schedule. No, regression testing will compromise our quality. So we will not do this also. Obtain sponsor approval to revise the quality plan and remove the testing requirement. Again, this will compromise quality. Okay, the final question we have. A software team delivers an early build of a product for testing. During validation, the quality team reports that response times are inconsistent and test is taking much longer than expected. The project manager wants to track performance trends over time to determine whether the situation is improving or deteriorating. Which tool would be most appropriate? Run chart, data flow diagram, process flow charts, scatter diagram. See, the question is clearly saying tracking performance trend over time to determine whether the situation is improving or different. So trend over time, this is time, and here is response times. This is a run chart. Okay. What is a data flow diagram? illustrates how data moves through a system but does not monitor performance trends. Basically, in a Kanban board, to do, in progress, done, we use the data flow diagrams. So this is not the correct answer. Process flow chart shows process steps and decision points, not performance over time. And scatter diagram is also examines relationships between two variables rather than tracking performance trends over time. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more PMP and project management content. My next PMP certification training batch starts in June. Details and registration information are available in the pinned comment below. Thank you very much.